Coming up on the Q30 Newscast, wild weather puts facilities to work.
And we have an exclusive interview with SGA President Ryan Lynch following a passionate SGA general meeting.
I promise that we are going to change the way we educate our members because we obviously need to work on that.
And another cybersecurity attack has been found in Quinnipiac's emails.
All this and more coming up on the Q30 Newscast.
Live from Studio 125, this is the Q30 Newscast.
I'm Janelle Cadigan.
And I'm Joel Vanner. The Student Government Association and the Multicultural Student Council held the event Your Voice, Our Quinnipiac in the Piazza. Students voiced their opinions at this open mic night style event on the central topic of My Culture is Not a Costume.
But the event quickly took a turn when one member of student government made some controversial comments, and tonight at the SGA General Board meeting, many expressed their concerns over having that member represent the sophomore class. Beverly Wakiaga brings us the full story.
From spoken word to everyday stories, it was a rare opportunity for Quinnipiac students to voice their experience with culture and identity. This past Monday at the Your Voice, Our Quinnipiac event, things took a turn when sophomore class president Chris Montalvo shared his personal experience and voiced opinions that students of color took offense to.
I think, even though I understand the sentiment of what he was saying, it could have been said in a better way, and I think that didn't really, it wasn't received well by the room.
Following the event, a number of students took their complaints to today's SGA General Board meeting.
What we allowed on Monday, because he continued to speak, was a discussion on how the experiences of a white man could mirror the experiences of people that have faced racial bias their entire life.
Many students spoke of their experiences as people of color, not only at Quinnipiac, but as a result of systemic racism. A professor read a prepared letter on his thoughts on the events and the participants' arguments.
Here, there is nothing virtuous or noble about organizing a petition to silence a fellow Bobcat just because you disagreed with or discovered some unintended offense in their opinion.
There was passionate debate as SGA members argued on whether or not they should impeach Montalvo and what consequences he should face for his actions. The SGA passed a motion to censure Montalvo. A censure is a way of reprimanding Montalvo and his actions. Before the motion was passed, Montalvo apologized for his actions and urged those offended to reach out to him.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my email, I'm going to give you my phone number, I'm going to open up my schedule, and I want to have a conversation with every single person who I offended. And I will give you the opportunity to educate me, and I will give myself the opportunity to show you the kind of person that I am and why I might have the beliefs that I do.
Q30 spoke to SGA President Ryan Lynch after the meeting on what the organization plans are going forward.
The students are speaking up, and you have to respect that, and you have to listen to that. We are elected to represent all students. And we need to educate ourselves so we can represent every single person on this campus. And with that, there's a lot of work to do, and we're ready to get started. I promise that we are going to change the way we educate our members because we obviously need to work on that.
It's unclear on what exactly will happen next. There is talk of starting the impeachment process against a different member. We will update you as we learn more. For Q30 News, I'm Beverly Wakiaga.
Q30 News live tweeted the entire SGA board meeting, so be sure to go on and follow us at Q30 News for other key points and information from that meeting.
Last of Connecticut. And here at Quinnipiac, the flash floodwaters kept facilities busy. Several residence halls and other buildings on campus experienced ceiling leaks after nearly 3 inches of rain came down in a matter of hours. Keith Woodward, Associate Vice President for Facilities Operations, said in a statement to Q30, with Tuesday night's extreme weather conditions, including 40 mile per hour wind gusts, rain came down at ½ inch per hour in some cases and flash flood warnings. The university experienced a few roof leaks on the Mount Carmel campus. The statement went on to say the facilities department is working with roofing contractors to repair them as quickly as possible. Q30's John McMahon joins us now for a weather update. We definitely needed the rain after such a dry and unseasonably warm month. John, how much rain did Connecticut actually get yesterday?
Well, Joel, just like you said, Connecticut the last few days had quite the blustery weather conditions. We had many inches of rain and quite the crazy wind. We actually have some information here, some total precipitation graph from October 24th, with some parts of the state reaching more than 4.5 inches of rain. To give you an idea of the sheer magnitude of that is, 1 inch of rain equals 1 foot of snow. So let's just be happy it's not back in December. For your full weather update, join me back in the show, and I'll give you everything you need to know.
And Information Security is warning students of a new phishing scam being done through email, which tricks students into logging in using their Quinnipiac information. According to Chief Information Security Officer Brian Kelly, there has been a recent uptick in the amount of phishing scams targeting university members. In a statement to Q30, Kelly says, "We ask our users to remember emails from Quinnipiac offices will always be sent from an @quinnipiac.edu address and include a Quinnipiac employee's signature with contact information, including campus phone number."
Get your elbows off the table, folks. The Interfraternity Council and the Panhellenic Council are working together to teach better table manners. An etiquette dinner exclusively for Greek life members was held in the Rocky Top Student Center. The event included a presentation from a speaker on proper professional etiquette when out to dinner. The goal was for attendees to, quote, become better rounded in how to conduct themselves in professional settings where etiquette is valued.
And while Greek life is teaching proper dining skills, Residence Hall Council is teaching safe sex skills. But part of the event didn't go as planned. Christina Venus has the story.
Last night, the Residence Hall Council hosted Sex and Candy, a sex education program open to the entire student body.
We got it from a NACUR conference that we went to last May. 2 people put it on. They're from Texas Tech University. I went to it twice and I loved it so much that we wanted to bring it back to our campus because we thought it would benefit students at Quinnipiac.
This hands-on learning experience educated students on consent and the various resources available on campus through games, videos, and other interactive ways.
This was very straightforward, and I feel like other sex talks and stuff tiptoed around the event, but they literally handed out condoms here and stuff like that, so it was a different experience.
Free food, candy, and condoms were available for all those in attendance, as well as a chance to win other safe sex-related prizes. RHC advertised and planned on raffling off sex toys, but on the day of the event, Residential Life pulled the sex toys from the raffle due to a complaint from a parent that was touring during the open house last weekend.
It's kind of unfortunate that we couldn't do sex toys, especially when they're not, extravagant. They were just basically vibrators that you get from Walgreens or Walmart. You don't have to go somewhere special to get them. I think it's kind of ridiculous that we can't get them to students. I don't think there's really anything wrong with it.
Regardless, students still gained new knowledge from the RHC program and are definitely better prepared to take action against sexual assault and safe sex practices. For Q30 News, Christina Vitas.
Awareness to an important charity. Days for Girls assembles feminine hygiene kits to be shipped abroad through the sales of decorative keychains. According to the charity website, they have provided hygiene solutions to women and girls in over 110 countries. By the end of this year, they hope to reach over 1 million people.
We are tabling with Alpha Phi Omega, the service fraternity on campus. We're selling keychains for Days for Girls. So they provide feminine hygiene products to girls in third world countries because they often don't have the money to provide them for themselves.
Half of the proceeds from the tabling will go to the QU Physician's Assistant Program.
Chartwell's is getting in the Halloween spirit. A free pumpkin painting station was set up in the cafeteria for students to come and have some fun. This is one of many promotional events Chartwell's is experimenting with this year.
Coming up on the Q30 Newscast, students hold an event to raise money for refugees.
And Carrie Golden has your full national news update. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hello, and tonight on Sandwich News, we will determine what makes a good sandwich and a bad sandwich. First, the standard sandwich. Uninspired, and frankly, a little gross. But we have here a Ray and Mike sandwich, the Cadillac of sandwiches. And if you want one, well,
come on down to Ray and Mike's at 3030 Whitney Ave, Hamden, Connecticut. Open every day from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Qcash is accepted.
now that's a sandwich.
Bobcat Breakdown, presented by the Quinnipiac Bobcats Sports Network.
We are your source for debate.
Did they make the playoffs last year, Tom Jenkins?
When it clicks, it clicks.
We dissect Quinnipiac athletics on a scale you've never seen before.
With Tobia, it almost looks like she's reaching a little bit.
Plus, we bring in the biggest names surrounding college sports.
We are live here at the Times Union Center with Jay Billis.
And of course, some comedy.
But you can only have so much arena food.
I think you're crazy.
Bobcat Breakdown, Tuesdays at 9:30.
Whether you're on the quad, in your room,
or heading to class,
tune in to Q30 News.
For stories by student journalists you can trust.
We are covering the latest here on campus and in surrounding areas.
Get the news you need to know every Wednesday night.
This is Sports Pause.
Are you concerned with the 0-2 start for this team?
Right here, top of the circle, again, rips it past the Jasper's goalie.
What will breaking the record mean for the program himself? I mean, 138 wins.
There's the tough shot. What a nice play by Mikey Dixon.
Just good in transition. Just a really dynamic scorer he can create for himself.
And now, Emma, it's time for the top 5 plays of the week.
Hello, and tonight on Sandwich News, we will determine what makes a good sandwich and a bad sandwich. First, the standard sandwich. Uninspired, and frankly, a little gross. But we have here a Ray and Mike sandwich, the Cadillac of sandwiches. And if you want one, well,
come on down to Ray and Mike's at 3030 Whitney Ave, Hamden, Connecticut. Open every day from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Qcash is accepted.
now that's a sandwich.
In 1989, President George H.W. Bush proclaimed October as National Italian-American Heritage Month. October is also LGBTQ History Month, and the two groups gathered in the Multicultural Suite in the Carl Hansen Student Center to celebrate. The Multicultural Suite was opened last academic year and serves as a space where cultural organizations can hold events such as this one.
Just one day before the expiration of President Trump's refugee ban, the International Business Society held an event to raise money for refugees. John Welsh has the story.
The International Business Society held a charity dinner this Monday to help support refugees living in New Haven.
And we've been having this event for over 20 years since the International Business Department was established. The students have been running this event for that long.
Each year, the Society picks a different charity to donate their money to.
This year we chose IRIS, which is Integrated Refugee and Immigration Services, and they're based in New Haven. So what they do is they take all our proceeds and give it to all the families that are in New Haven and are struggling because they are new to America.
Admissions to the all-you-could-eat buffet were $5 at the door. You could also get a raffle ticket for an extra $2 each. These raffles offered prizes such as assorted arrangements.
We'll be doing the floral arrangement.
Last year, they made close to $1,000, and this year they hope to raise even more.
This is a very annual thing. We'll get anywhere from 100 to 200 people depending on the year and depending on whether it's on a weekday or a weekend. We do have a large collection of flags for the International Business Department, but we order food that is based more in New Haven. So we have a lot of Asian cultures in New Haven, we have a lot of South Asian cultures in New Haven, we have a lot of European cultures in New Haven, so we'll take whatever we can from the local area.
John Welsh, Q30 Newscast.
Puerto Rico is slowly returning to normalcy 5 weeks after Hurricane Maria slammed the island.
And one retired Marine isn't letting his wounds define him. Carrie Golden has your national news update.
Thanks, guys. Starting off, I have some updates on the national story about the 5 U.S. troops attacked by ISIS in Niger. This attack happened on October 4th, but some details still remain unknown. At the Pentagon briefing, the Joint Chiefs Chairman Joseph Dunford said that there is no indication that the U.S. troops were operating outside their orders at the time of the ambush. However, he later said that the Pentagon owes the families and the American people an explanation of what actually happened. We will give you more updates on this investigation as it continues to develop. 3 separate people were killed in the past 2 weeks, and now police are swarming Tampa to find the person who did it. According to officials, there are no current leads on who was responsible for these shootings, and there is also no update on the motive. Investigators do believe these shootings are linked, as the 3 victims were alone and all found within half a mile of each other. Now for some good news from Puerto Rico. Some public schools have reopened 5 weeks after Hurricane Maria ravaged the area. 60 schools reopened in the capital area and 59 in Mayaguez. This is considered to be a huge step in returning to normalcy for the territory, even though 24 schools still remain closed and nearly 200 are currently serving as community centers and shelters. The education secretary says she wants classes to resume as soon as possible, but first repairs need to be made to ensure the safety of the students. Well, one man is defying the odds and taking to the roads. Retired Marine vet Sergeant Rob Jones is trying to run 31 marathons in 31 cities in 31 days. Jones is doing this to prove wounded veterans are not broken. He lost both of his legs in 2010 when he stepped on a landmine in Afghanistan. Since the start of his marathon challenge, he has raised awareness and more than $80,000 for 3 veteran charities. Well, that's all I have for your national news update. Joel, Janelle, back to you guys.
Thanks, Carrie. Still to come on the Q30 Newscast, John is standing by with your full 7-day forecast.
And Q30's Maggie Smith has everything you need to know this week about the entertainment world. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Hello, and tonight on Sandwich News, we will determine what makes a good sandwich and a bad sandwich. First, the standard sandwich. Uninspired, and frankly, a little gross. But we have here a Ray and Mike sandwich, the Cadillac of sandwiches. And if you want one, well,
come on down to Ray and Mike's at 3030 Whitney Ave, Hamden, Connecticut. Open every day from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. QCash is accepted.
Now that's a sandwich.
Bobcat Breakdown presented by the Quinnipiac Bobcats Sports Network.
We are your source for debate.
Did they make the playoffs last year, Tom Jenkins?
When it clicks, it clicks.
We dissect Quinnipiac athletics on a scale you've never seen before.
With Tobia, it almost looks like she's reaching a little bit.
Plus, we bring in the biggest names surrounding college sports.
We are live here at the Times Union Center with Jay Billis.
And of course, some comedy.
But you can only have so much arena food.
I think you're crazy.
Bobcat Breakdown, Tuesdays at 9:30.
Whether you're on the quad,
In your room.
Or heading to class.
tune in to Q30 News.
For stories by student journalists you can trust.
We are covering the latest here on campus and in surrounding areas.
Get the news you need to know every Wednesday night.
This is Sports Pause.
Are you concerned with the 0-2 start to this team?
Right here, top of the circle, again, rips it past the Jasper's goalie.
What will breaking the record mean for the program himself? I mean, 138 wins.
There's the tough shot. What a nice play by Mikey Dixon.
He's good in transition. Just a really dynamic scorer he can create for himself.
And now, Emma, it's time for the top 5 plays of the week.
Well, Halloween weekend is coming up.
Yeah, it is, and people are probably going to be out and about, maybe trick-or-treating a little bit early this week, John. What kind of weather can they expect?
Well, Halloween for certain will definitely be fine for trick-or-treaters and really for anything else going on, but the rest of the week ahead of time, a little iffy. Looking at just the Hamden tonight and the next few days, tonight will be a high of 59 degrees and a little bit of clouds. Tomorrow is 55. With also just a little clouds, and Hamden also tomorrow night with 49 degrees, also cloudy. So today it's pretty consistent weather but not too great. Heading into Connecticut and the surrounding area, or excuse me, the towns in Connecticut, excuse me. So Danbury is a high of 56, a little cloudy again, just a little, parka weather, kind of deal. Torrington, 55 degrees, also cloudy. New Haven's high of 60, little hints of an Indian summer there. Killingly is 60 degrees and rain, so definitely get your rain jackets out, ponchos, whatever you really need. New London, also rain, 62 degrees. You can expect that on the coast. And Hartford is a high of 67. You can really expect some clouds, so pretty moderate weather. Moving it right into the 7-day forecast. Wednesday, today, there's a high of 67, cloudy and rainy with a low of 50. Thursday is also rainy, high of 56 and a low of 41. Friday, sunny, a little surprise in the middle of the week, 61 and a low of 45. Saturday is partly cloudy, high of 68. Wow. A low of 45. Sunday is 65 and a low of 50, a little bit of rain. Monday, rain, 55, low of 41. Not great weather, but the day that everyone is talking about, Halloween, Tuesday, partly cloudy, the high of 58 and a low of 40. Perfect for those trick-or-treaters. 40, you might want to throw a sweatshirt on them, but all in all, a good day. That's all I have for your weather forecast. Back to you guys at the desk.
40 degrees on Halloween night. Thank you, John, and I don't know about you, Janelle, but I am looking forward to the end of the month, end of October, with regular temperatures, and it's looking like it'll stay to be that way on John's 7-day forecast.
Absolutely, I'm super excited because, after fall comes winter, and do you know what happens in the winter? The Super Bowl.
Ooh.
And guess who is going to perform at the Super Bowl this year? It's Justin Timberlake during halftime. Maggie Smith is here with that and more from Hollywood in her entertainment report. Maggie.
Thanks, guys. You heard right. It has been confirmed that Justin Timberlake will be the halftime performer for this year's Super Bowl. JT made the announcement by tweeting out, quote, "I do have the time, half the time," unquote. He also had a video that featured Jimmy Fallon. Timberlake will be making this comeback performance after his 2004 wardrobe mishap with Janet Jackson. This will be the third time he is performing at the Super Bowl. Singer Billy Joel and his wife welcomed a new addition to their family, baby Remy Ann. The 68-year-old had confirmed that he and his wife were expecting a child a little over a week before she was born. This is Joel's third daughter. Remy Ann is joining her older sisters, Della Rose, born in 2015, and his daughter from his second marriage to model Christy Brinkley. Congratulations to the new parents. Turning to news related to the ongoing Harvey Weinstein cases, there are now reports of sexual assault and misconduct associated with another writer and director, James Toback. More than 30 women have come out and reported that they were sexually assaulted by Toback. The allegations came to light in an article published this past Sunday by the LA Times. Some of the accusations date all the way back to the 1980s. When contacted by the LA Times, Toback denied the allegations. On a lighter note, George Clooney has taken the role of director in his newest film, Suburbicon, which is set to be released this Friday. The movie takes a look at a fictional town and their reaction when an African-American family moves in. The movie is set in 1957 and based on Levittown, Pennsylvania, and the racially charged riots that occurred there. Well, that's all I have for your entertainment news. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Maggie. Coming up next on the Q30 Newscast, Jonathan Banks is here to update you all on things Quinnipiac sports.
And some members of our team are out in Dallas, Texas for a conference. We'll see you back here in 2 minutes.
Hello, and tonight on Sandwich News, we will determine what makes a good sandwich and a bad sandwich. First, the standard sandwich. Uninspired and frankly, a little gross. But we have here a Ray and Mike sandwich, the Cadillac of sandwiches. And if you want one, well,
come on down to Ray and Mike's at 3030 Whitney Ave, Hamden, Connecticut. Open every day from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Qcash is accepted.
Now that's a sandwich.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning After.
Coming up on #that, we talk about some fun events around Quinnipiac's campus.
And we talk about some weird news that's been discussed around Twitter.
All that and more, we are your source for Quinnipiac's entertainment news.
From the new athletics complex on Hogan Road to the Sports Center on York Hill, Bobcat sports have been busy. Jonathan Bangs has it all. Jonathan, what's new?
Thanks, Joel. You're right, there was a lot going on in Quinnipiac sports this week. The most exciting game happened in our own backyard. Let's take it to the pitch for the men's soccer highlight against Marist. Huge MAC contest here. Let's take it to the pitch in the first half. The cross comes in from Rothenbucher and Jet Behar with an absolutely unbelievable header. 90 seconds in, he's pumped. Quinnipiac takes a 1-0 lead. It's the first goal for the center half. Now early in the second half, a nice slide rule pass by Marist for Alan Gavilanis. Hits the post, but he fires the rebound into the net with conviction. It's now 1-1. Gavilanis will tally early in the second half for Marist. It's 2-2 until Simon Hillinger, have a day kid, the freshman, doesn't get a lot of playing time, but fires well. A curling shot from 25 yards out. He's pumped. 7 minutes left. The game is tied at 2. We head to overtime. Simon Hillinger, it's that man again. Matthew Taylor sends it to Hillinger with class and conviction. It's a cool finish from the freshman. Quinnipiac going crazy. Quinnipiac wins 3-2 on senior night. The freshman steals the show. Now we're going to take it to the ice now. The men's hockey team traveled up to Boston to face the Northeastern Huskies for 2 out-of-conference games. Friday night, it was goal heavy. Northeastern was up 3-2 in the second period before Odin Tufto, oh, look at that, flips it over Caden Primo with the upper corner shot from behind the net. What a finish from him. The game just keeps going on before Tanner McMaster breaks with pace up the ice, and he will cut inside and bury the game winner. Quinnipiac goes on to win this one 6-4. Quinnipiac wins the first one 6-4. Second day, it was more of the same. Lots of goals here. 3-2 in overtime. Alex Whalen follows up his own block shot and puts it in for Quinnipiac. They win 3-2 in overtime. Whalen scores his 4th of the season, and Quinnipiac sweeps Northeastern in an ECAC Hockey East battle. Now let's look at scores from the weekend. The past scores, Field Hockey defeated Temple 1-0 thanks to a Marissa Larkin goal to keep their Big East playoff hopes alive. Rugby defeated Central Washington 29-24 in a rematch of last year's national title game. St. Peter's lost to Quinnipiac women's tennis 7-0, and Quinnipiac volleyball defeated Manhattan 3-1 in Hamden. Now let's look at those top 5 plays from all around the weekend. Let's roll the tape here. Top 5 plays in Quinnipiac sports. So much going on between field hockey, soccer, and men's ice hockey. But let's take it to the tape here for play number 5. It's Reed. Laureen in on a breakaway. Goes past Liviglina. Bakir Gusky. Ooh, look at that stick save. Bails out Liviglina. The Bobcats went on to win 1-0. Number 4, Eamon Whalen for Quinnipiac. Looking for a second season, but Bo Hornberger of Marist is equal to the challenge. That's a great save from the junior defender. Play number 3, Hillinger. It's that man. What a finish from the freshman. Puts the team on his back as a curled finish. We'll see more from the Germany native in a little bit there. He's pumped. The team is pumped. Play number 2, you just saw it, Odin Tufto gliding in, falls down, but with the backhand up into the upper corner of that. Caden Primo can do nothing about it. The Bobcats swept Northeastern 6-4 and 3-2 now. Number 1, as promised, it's Taylor. Back to Simon Hillinger. Oh, what a finish. Pure class from the freshman there. In the biggest moment of this season, Quinnipiac takes that 3-2. He steals the show on senior night. This is Jonathan Banks for your sports update.
Hey guys, we just landed here in Dallas for the CMA conference. We're so excited.
Well, some of our members of Q30 are out in Dallas for the Associated Collegiate Press College Media Association Conference.
You can follow the 4 of them on Twitter to get updates on the sessions they are attending, and we hope they're having a great time.
That's all we have tonight for Q30 News. Be sure to stay up to date with all the latest news by visiting our website at q30tv.com.
And follow us on Twitter at Q30 Television and at Q30 News.
For all of us here at Q30, thank you for tuning into tonight's newscast.
Good night.